Hey, Shalom Markins for Karma Kapashin, Jim is London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Chak, when they get double honors unto the elders, the apostles of Jesus, and Shalom out there to the hopeful that expression is truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. I caught this image, while I was, scrolling through YouTube, and you got the, I believe this, the Archbishop of Canterbury in this get up, man, and it just inspired me to do this video, man, because you can see on the front of his hat, these fishes, right? These three fishes, right, which I guess represents their Trinity doctrine and belief that they spread around the whole world, right? This is was it Roman Catholicism? Okay, the dominant um, Christian sect in the world. And now what is this all about? What's all these fishes about, right? Because they uh, associate the Lord Yahweh Shai, who they call Jesus Christ, right, with these fishes. And we just had Easter, so you got all uh the procession of, was it Good Friday, Fish Friday? They got it as Fish Friday, right? And then you got Saturday. I can't remember what the Saturday is, but the Sunday is meant to be when the Lord resurrected, I believe, right? So that they got the whole weekend. They got the whole weekend of you know of these traditions that they had the world, you know, follow, these Christians follow, but none of it is rooted in scripture, right? So what all these fishes about, man, right? And you see the thing up on the head that they wear, the hat, right? They call it a mitri or mita or whatever, but it's not really. It ain't really, right? It's supposed to be like a turban, a mitri, right? But what this hat is really another fish. It's a fish head, right? It's a fish head. Yeah, so what's up with all the fish? It's just fish, right? But but really this goes back to pagan worship, idol worship, right? Of the fish god Dagon, right? Which is in scriptures is um mentioned as a Philistine god or idol, right? And this is, you know, representing that, okay, symbolic of that, right? Shows you, man, that Christianity is nothing but paganism, man. They're full of paganisms, right? That they incorporate, man, because none of this is biblical, right? What they got going around. Like I said, the Dagon is a type of fertility god, and again around this Easter time, which they celebrate. Okay, they don't celebrate the Passover; they celebrate Easter, right? With bunnies and eggs. It's a whole fertility ritual, right? And it just so happens that this god Dagon is also a fertility god, right? Which they put in all this get up on. I mean, they wear the hats, you know, often, but this one's particular. It's got fishes on it. You know what I mean? It's a particular day for them to wear this one, right? But or for him to wear this one or whatever. Um, it just so happens to be that the idol Dagon is also known as a fertility god, right? Like I said, they wearing it during Easter, and that it's just pagan worship, man. It's just idol worship, witchcraft, and all that type of stuff going on. So I just wanted to get into this a little bit. All right, so without further ado, right? Let's go here first, right? So I'm in the book of Samuel's, First Samuel's, chapter 5, and we're gonna read about Dagon. Okay, briefly, right? So let's just grab. Okay, First Samuel chapter 5, verse 1 says, "And the Philistines took the ark of the Most High and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod." Okay, so these Philistines, they managed to get hold of the ark of the covenant. All right. When the Philistines took the ark of the Most High, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon, okay, which is their god that they worship, right? And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Lord. And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they rose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands were cut off. Upon the threshold, only the stump of Dagon was left to him, right? So the Most High destroyed that statue that they had up in there. I said, therefore, neither the priests of Dagon nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod unto this day. All right. So their god Dagon, that they had the Ark of the Covenant in, right? I kind of brought up a little. I'm gonna come to that in a minute. All right. Now, can I zoom? Yeah. All right. So this is supposedly an image of Dagon, right? Dagon, fish god, right? So just look, take a come off it, man. It's messing with me. Right. So on this supposed man's head, right? Got a fish head, right? Got hands. I believe. That's the one I had, isn't it? Right. Right. So yeah, he's got a fish on top of his head, right? And supposedly, you know, he more looks or resembles, you know, like this bottom image here with the fish bottom half. You know, he's a merman, right? That's annoying me. All right, so he's got a fish on his head, right? Gaping mouth, right? And but he got hands. He got hands and stuff, right? But the bottom half is like a fish body. I don't know why they got Nimrod here. I don't know, but if you go into here into the lexicon now, I'm just going to pick verse 2. Go to the interlinear. That's what I meant to say. Right. Go to Dagon. And I believe that's Dagon 1. If I remember correctly, right? It says Dagon, a fish, a Philistine deity of fertility, right? It's a fertility god they worshipped. Or maybe it was one of them, I don't know. But this is one that's mentioned and it's a fertility god, right? So representing with the face and hands of a man and the tail of a fish. All right. So let's have a look. This is a great fish, diminutive little fish, then used lovingly, dear and honored fish. Dagon, an idol of the Philistines, worshipped at Ashdod with the head and hands of a man and the rest of his body that of a fish. And very similar was the form of the Seto worship at Ashkelon, also in the form of a fish. That's what it seems to really have in there, right? So he's a fish god. Okay, a man fish, right? It's a man fish, a merman, right? But here's where the similarities kick in now, right? Do that. Right, so you see this dude, right? But then let's have a look at this dude now, right? The Mitri, the supposed Mitri on his head, right? This is another guy with a side angle, right? It's a gaping mouth of a fish, right? And you see this, I don't know what to call it, man, but from the Mitri is like a, you know, there's material coming from the back of it that goes down, right? Down from the behind, right? So, because where does this hat come from? Like, you know, where does it come from? It's a gaping fish head. Okay, the same one It's on this dude, right? And it proceeds down his back. All right, and this is where it originates from. All right, and then you got the symbolisms in popular culture, in the symbolisms in their logos and stuff, right? You got the Starbucks symbol, which is basically that. It's basically Dagon, but they feminized it. You know, bottom fish half and all that business, but it was a man or woman in this case. But these symbolisms they here, which just shows you the amount of witchcraft and idol worship that actually goes on in this world that we're living in, man. Right? And there's loads of it everywhere we go, everywhere you turn. Okay, a bunch of nothing but symbolism, symbols of witchcraft. All right. So yeah, you see these guys look the same. The Archbishop and the Dagon idol. So like I said, you had just had the Easter come up, and these guys, he got extra fishes, man. Got the Trinity of the fishes on his head. Supposedly representing Christ, the Lord. Okay, which it don't. It ain't. It not. All right, but these men are meant to be the leaders of Christianity. Yeah, but these guys are nothing but pagans, nothing but witches and warlocks. Okay, that are deceiving the earth and their congregation, man. Okay, and our people, even though our people are kind of leaving from them, right, as they should do. Our people are still stuck up in this bullshit, believing in this rubbish. Okay, not knowing that they're really serving idols, man. All of them, white, leprous, the leprous Christ, their Christ, is an idol. Okay, the people, the world who believe, we're going to believe that who's called Jesus Christ is nothing but an idol that they push upon the world, man, for white supremacism, white supremacy. All right, but let's grab some scriptures and we'll close out. Starting off with 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 13 says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ, of Yahushai. And these guys don't even promote Yahushai. Okay? They're promoting Jesus Christ, their savior, okay, which is an idol, hence does not exist, right? Because idols don't exist. But these are the ministers. They transform themselves into ministers, like they're the guys that you should be listening and following. But these guys don't know nothing about the scriptures. Okay, they don't teach you no truth out of those scriptures. It says that no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Esau, he the one running this shit. Okay, Esau's the one running all this shit, man. So you definitely ain't gonna get the truth from him. Satan himself is transformed himself into angel of light. He a good guy on the earth. Yeah, this guy, yeah. But at the same time, this dude's touching up with your kids in the churches, busting in the mouths and shit. Real fucking sickos, man. And that goes all the way to the Pope. The most holiest of men on the planet, supposedly. But in the Vatican, there's nothing but fucking perverse sickness in there, man. Darkness, evil. And all these men are a part of it, man. Verse 15, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works, right? So they ain't gonna get away with this shit. They got this whole facade and this whole act on, right? Most are gonna expose them and destroy them, right? It's from 2 Kings chapter 17. Okay, this is speaking about the Israelites, how they went off and was worshiping idols, man. But what did the Lord tell us, man? 2 Kings 17 verse 11, and there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. Right, the Most High kicked the inhabitants of land, Canaan, the Canaanites, out of the land for us to possess it, and we were strictly told not to do the things in which they did. Okay, and part of that is worshiping idols, right? That's part of the commandments, man. Not to have any other power besides me, right? Verse 12, for they served idols, whereof the Lord had said unto them, ye should not do this thing, right? But you got here, like, you people don't understand, but what you're doing, right? You got all these bunch of idols up in these churches, man, and you're sitting there, going along with the processions and holding all these so-called holidays, and getting into it, man. Like this is scriptural. This ain't scriptural. Where's this in the scriptures? Where's Fish Friday? Where's all this get up? Where is the Easter bunny and the Easter eggs? Where's all this Easter shit? Hot cross buns and all this business. What is this? Is this supposed to be a high? Is that supposed to be a high holiday, or is it the Passover? Tell me, what's in the scriptures as a high holiday? But you don't do nothing, according to the scriptures concerning the Passover. Don't do nothing concerning it. Right? So you're just practicing all these traditions and customs or these idols, man. That's all you're into. Christmas, all of that. Ezekiel 20 verse 16 is because they despised my judgments and walked not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbaths, for their heart went after their idols. So you're not upholding anything the Most High has required us to uphold. You got your own thing going on because you despise the word of the Lord. Really, you despise the statutes and everything that He put in place. You got for their heart went after their idols. You're going after idols. That's what you're serving in these places. This is Matthew chapter 15 verse 3 says, but he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of the Most High by your tradition? Because, these people go stuck in their ways for generation after generation, just continuing doing the same bullshit, man, without any education of the scriptures, without any understanding. These men are not learning anything, man. They're not learning anything from the scriptures, man. They're they're getting orations from their leaders, some motivational speeches, and that is it, man. They're not learning the scriptures. They're not learning anything. And that is why you got people leaving the church. They're not learning anything, man. all you've done is picked up vain traditions. This is Titus chapter 1 verse 13. It says, this witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. Right? So yeah, we speak out about things like this, because you're people ignorant. Right? And you need to be corrected. You need to be rebuked. Right? If you want to learn righteousness, man, you have to be told what you're doing wrong. You gotta be told that all this Christianity shit, man, is just paganism. Okay, that it's gonna everybody in that to do with Christianity is gonna be destroyed. Because you're not learning scriptures, man. You're learning vain traditions. You're learning idol worship. That's what you're picking up. Some pseudo doctrines, just to carry on this whole masquerade of idol worship, man. Thinking that you're righteous, thinking that you're good, when you're evil, man. You're on the path of destruction. Right? So we rebuke to correct those that maybe may hear and correct themselves, man, and repent. So this witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Right? Commandments of men. You're just following these men. Okay, you're not studying the scriptures. You're not, seeing what the Lord said. What do Yahweh say? You're just listening to the men that are there speaking to you, man. Right? Because you're lazy. You're just trusting in the word because you're lazy. But that's where laziness is going to get you, man. destroyed. Right? It says, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him. Now what are you doing, participating in Easter? Baking cakes for Talmuds and all of that. You don't even know what the hell you're doing. Where is it in the scriptures? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? You don't even know. Why do you celebrate Christmas? Oh, because you was told. Because you was told. But what did you read? What did you study? Was the Lord really born in winter time on the 25th of December? Was he really? No, he wasn't. And it's not even hard to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Because you was told. No, it's because you're lazy, man. Yeah, and you love the traditions and the customs that you've been holding all these years. You don't want to change. You don't want to change. So really, it's not about serving the Lord. It ain't about righteous or being good. You just want to continue in your ways, man, and make yourself feel good that you think that you're doing something. Oh yeah, I worship the Lord. But you celebrating Christmas, which is nothing to do with the Lord, nothing to do with the Most High. It's a high wicked day. It's not a holy day, right? Has its roots in paganism, man, and idol worship. Hypocrites, It says they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. It's 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. It says, for the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap into themselves teachers having itching ears. Right? Because you like what you hear. Because it suits you, man. You know what I mean? This isn't about what suits us. This is about what the Lord commanded. All right, so these things we're meant to cast away, man. Because hey, we all grew up the same, right? Being involved in Easter and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. These are the things that that was going on when I was getting raised up. That's what we participated in. My family weren't particularly religious, but everybody doesn't know. On the earth does it, man. That's how bad it is. Everyone on the earth is involved in Christmas and Easter and all this stuff because Esau got the marketing schemes, man. He just let's get everybody together. We set it up that everybody worships on that day. Gets involved in the idol worship. But that is not. We're meant to cast those things away because those things ain't right. Right, but because like I said, it's just continuing the status quo for you, so you feel comfortable, so you don't mind that. Oh yeah, you don't mind the doctrine that they teach because it's just it's just the same for you. There's no change that need to be done. Just lazy. Right, it says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and be turned unto fables. Or the reason why they got these traditions in the church or whatever. Oh yeah, because the Lord was born on the 25th of December, so that's why we do it. All this is BS, man. All because of Easter time, it's all BS. Just fables, just paganism that was incorporated into the church a long time ago, and they just continued on with it. It says yeah, that's it on that, right? So we're gonna close up with this. Is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 2, right? And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, man. So there ain't gonna be no Dagon, gonna be no Ishtar, ain't gonna be no Jesus, right? None of these people, none of these idols, right? These names are gonna exist when Yahushua turns up, man. Okay, they're all gonna be destroyed. Ain't no one gonna be making any mention of them, right? Because they ain't real, right? And they shall no more be remembered, and also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. All right, so the Lord's gonna destroy these idols, man. There ain't gonna be none of these fish-headed people walking around with these, like this dude, right? There ain't gonna be no guys like that, walking around with fish heads, you know, worshipping other gods, praising other gods, symbolizing other gods or idols, right? They ain't gonna be around no more. Okay, these traditions, these customs, man, they ain't gonna be around no more. Okay, they're gonna be coldly and utterly destroyed, man. You know. So with that, I hope this is edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next one. So until then, I say shalom.